Hello, everybody. So this is the Joyful Breeze podcast, and I'm Sue Exner, who is the Joyful Breeze. And what I wanted to do today was just really connect with someone who has had a positive impact on me, and in more ways than one, but really on the leadership style. And you know, I've been talking about Be the Breeze, hashtag Be the Breeze. And what this Be the Breeze is uplifting others with positivity. And we live in a very negative, I would say, environment right now. And I think it's, you know, what can you do as an individual to create more positivity in your world? And Be the Breeze to me is a bunch of things. But for today, it is sharing with someone and letting that someone know the positive impact that they had on me. So I'd like to introduce Darren Howden. So welcome, Darren.
Thank you. I didn't know this was an ambush, but okay.
So Darren and I worked together for a number of years, and Darren was a leader. He wasn't my direct leader, but I would say that I felt like you were my direct leader at times. And with Darren, the thing I loved about you in your leadership role is your ability to get results and still build relationships with employees. And that's what resonated with me the most, is that you didn't really care in the sense of who you pissed off, because you had a mission, you had an assignment, but you still brought people along with you on that journey, right? And so today I want to quiz you, and he willingly agreed to do this, by the way, on your leadership style and helping others with their own leadership journey. So in terms of positive impact, I would say the first thing that really had a positive impact on me was the partnership award that you gave me. And so I think I was in the role for about 5 years, and I was working in marketing. You were in sales operations. And Darren surprised me at a leadership meeting, for the Prairie sales area. And he presented an award to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like totally unexpected. Talk about Be the Breeze moment. And that meant so much to me, because it wasn't, obviously there's awards that are handed out, but because that came from you, and it resonated with me, the fact that, hey, this assignment's complete. We did really good work together, and we had fun, and we were professional at the same time. So number one, thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Number two is Darren also has, I don't know, now this is the surprise, 3 answers. So if we can throw up that slide now, EJ. So this is something that Darren, he provided this to staff. There are only 3 answers. We do that because it doesn't make sense. We shouldn't do it. It doesn't make sense, but it takes too much time to change it now. We will look at it in the future. I still look at this today. Like, this is, how many years ago did you bring this out?
Oh, this would be in about 2012.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, 13 years.
13 years.
13 years. I still look at this today. So this is the other point of impact that I wanted to highlight today, is the fact that something that it's simple as 3 answers, but it really helped drive decision making in my world, and in a lot of other people's worlds too. And when I just want to close out in terms of the impact piece, I did talk to a number of people before we met today. And I just want you to know, like, you had positive impact on so many. And there are so many people that said, say hi to Darren, tell him we miss him and stuff. And Darren's retired now. So you are missed. So I am very grateful for you taking this time to talk about your learnings and sharing it to help others and set others up for success. Awesome. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, actually, leadership is a passion of mine. It has been. So I'm super interested. Anything I can do to, any questions you want to talk about leadership, I am happy to be there. So, well,
then let's get to it. My first question for you is, how did you know you were a leader? Like, when did it dawn on you to say, oh, I like this?
I'm not sure it's ever dawned on me yet. I think to be a true leader, I think is something that it's a role that many people have. It's not a title. I think a lot of people think of it as a title. When I get the manager, the director, the vice president, then I'm a leader. And I would say I see many people in those roles and higher that I would say are absolutely not leaders. They're people that are in the job more to promote themselves and to have their own successes. To me, that's not a leader. To me, the most important part of a leader is turning other people into leaders and seeing that their leadership ability is there. So my very first leadership book was Louise Naveau, and that was in about 1998. And it was Patrick Lencioni, The 5 Temptations of a CEO, which every leader that joins my team, I have a series of books they must read as soon as they start, and that's one. It's a super short fable. It's about 70 pages long. And to me, that really resonated with me. It was the 5 Temptations, and it talks about, you need to trust, you need to have invulnerability, you need conflict, you need to, so to me, that's the foundation. So if you, with your people, if you have trust over invulnerability, and that's where I see a lot of leaders fail, right at the foundation, where I got to make sure my butt's covered 9 ways to Sunday. I don't want them to make me look bad. This is going to reflect on me. Absolutely not. That's the first thing you failed as a leader.
Yeah.
So trust. When you have a foundation of trust, then you can have conflict. So you and I have had conflict
100%.
many times, but it was never personal. It was always about something, not each other. It was about the task, which helps you when you got conflict, you can get clarity. So now at the end of the conflict, we're both on the same page. We're clear in what we're doing, which then gets you to accountability. So if we're clear in what we're doing, we agree on who's doing what, now we can hold each other accountable for that, which ultimately gets results. So those are the 5 temptations that just resonates with me forever. And I see different people will break. So accountability, we weren't really sure about that. I don't want to upset anybody. They'll feel bad. I see with different leaders, it breaks in all of the different chains there. But back to your question, what I know I was going to be a leader, I don't think I ever did. And I'm still, I don't actually see myself as a leader. I like the role, but I wouldn't call myself a leader. I'm just Darren, and I'm just trying to do a job and help others do theirs.
So there was a lot there to unpack. And I would say the last part that you just said, that's what makes you a good leader. And maybe a great leader. Not just good, a great leader. It's because you don't see yourself above anybody else.
No.
Let's get shit done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so, okay. So I want to go back to the books because you are a book guy. Yeah. And I know that you did ask your leadership team to read books. You said, you read this book, Sue, and I read the book. And I do believe in the leadership books. I follow Simon Sinek. I love Simon Sinek. The quote I just got the other day was, "Be the leader that you wish you had." Yes,
brilliant.
Right, and so a lot of these, quotes or these books, they're it's philosophical, right?
Totally.
So how does someone in a leadership role take that philosophy and then apply it?
So what you just said though. Be the leader you want to be, or say that again.
Be the leader you wish you had.
You wish you had.
Yeah.
That's where I got most of my leadership lessons from. Every leader I've worked for, and I've had a lot of different jobs. And in my last employer, I think I had 25 or 26 roles. So there's a couple books I want to touch on that really relate to that too. But for me, I learned from all my leaders, mostly from my poor leaders. So the worst leaders I had, I reflected on, okay, I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't like how I'm performing. There was one leader I had where I'm like, I should probably pay my salary back. I am completely useless. I'm doing nothing because I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Every day the priority changes. I'm not clear if I'm supposed to do this or that. Do I check in or not check in? And so to me, those are the lessons that I took and imparted when I became a leader.
Right.
To say, I don't want people to feel that way. So that's why I really like that quote. And Simon Sinek is awesome. Yeah. And Cy Wakeman's another beauty too.
Who?
But Cy Wakeman.
I don't think I've heard.
Ego in the workplace.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's a beauty too.
Okay.
But the other thing is that there was another book that I gave to summer students that I had, and it was by Cal Newport. It's called So Good They Can't Ignore You. And that's a beauty too. And it talks about, I never once, of all the years I worked for 32 years and 26 jobs, I never applied for any of them. And I get pulled into different assignments because I did the best I could in what I was doing so that people feel so good they can't ignore you. So then you become that guy that I need for this assignment and that assignment. It wasn't about getting promoted. Don't get me wrong. I liked the promotions. I liked the assignments. I never did anything for that reason though. And I think that's where you'll see lots of leaders will try and, I hope I get noticed. I hope somebody notices this. I'm going to do that because it's profile. I kind of like being under the radar.
Yeah.
Because under the radar is where you can do the most things without people helping from the top.
And like for me, like I feel that with a leader is there to let others rise above. Right? You want
100%.
the spotlight to shine
Yes.
on others, right?
100%.
And ultimately it will reflect back on you, because
100%.
as someone who works in the workforce, like I show up every day 110% to do my job, but I also want my team to look good. I want
100%.
the company to look good, right? So that's where I feel like a leader needs to be strong and secure in their role in order to let others shine.
100%.
Right?
If you can tell how confident a leader is and how like what their self-image is by how insecure they are based on how they perform. So a really good test, if you ever go to a conference with leaders, and I've done this for years, when there's a break, watch what happens. The ones that grab the phone immediately are the weakest leaders.
Interesting.
Because I better check in. Does my staff need me? I never once grabbed my phone. And my leaders, people think, I got to look busy. I got to look busy. No, actually, if you can't be away from your team for a day without having to check in, that's a fail in my point. They need to be functional without you for short periods of time. Now, I'm not saying there's not reasons where there's a crisis or something going on. That's cool. But you go to a leadership meeting and watch how many people are on their phone and who isn't on their phone. And I would say those are your better leaders.
I think sometimes the phone has been a blessing, and it's also been a curse.
Yes.
And it's whether it's a leader, whether it's an employee, whether it's my 16-year-old son, like the phone is something you hide behind.
Totally.
Right? And it's just how do you not hide behind it? I want to go back again, because you also talked about leadership management director. It's not a title.
No.
So there are a lot of managers that get into that management role, but just because you become a manager doesn't mean you immediately become a leader.
No.
Like you're managing people, but are you leading people?
Yeah.
So in your perspective, what's the difference between managing and leadership?
So you need both to be effective. So in my role, I had both assignments. So the managing is getting the results. The leading is getting the results through people. Is probably the easiest way I would describe that.
Okay.
So for me, managing, we all have budgets, we all have goals, we all have the administrative stuff you need. If you don't do that well, you're going to create chaos and pandemonium, because that's going to not help with your clarity. So again, if you're clear on here's what we've got to spend, here's what our targets are, here's the assignment, great. Now help inspire your people to achieve and exceed those things is what I would say. And I call it the new leader curse. So the hardest two jobs I had by far as a leader was first-time manager and first-time managing managers. Those are two very distinctive steps. And so you become you're the best doer.
Yeah.
Okay, now when they put you in charge of the doers, you think, well, I got this job because I'm the best doer. Yes, but now you need to not be a doer. You need to be a leader and a delegator of doers. And so I call it the new manager curse, where you think you have to have all the answers. So no, you didn't all of a sudden get smarter because you got a title. And so a lot of managers will, I didn't know the answer to that. Well, that's why you got all these really smart people working with you.
Right.
And I won't say for you, I say with you.
Right.
So as a leader, I just had a different level of responsibility than the people that reported to me. But we were all on the team. We were all doing the same thing. We were all trying to achieve the same results. But to be a manager, you need to be clear on what needs to be done. And as a leader, you need to help your people achieve that and clear the roadblocks and clear the obstacles and make sure you're helping them get there. But to me, there's a very distinct difference, and you need both to be successful.
Well, it's interesting because you've mentioned a few times about clear, right?
Very much so, yes.
And in January, I took the Dare to Lead
Brene.
with Brene Brown, but Kelly Garrett actually was the facilitator. And Kelly, if you're watching, I would love you to come here and do a little sit down with me too. But that was one of the key takeaways from the Dare to Lead is clear is kind.
100%.
That's what Brene Brown, clear is kind.
100%.
And so it's interesting that you've said that a couple of times now, and it's so true.
100%.
That clear is kind.
Well, and for me, when I said that one boss I had where I shouldn't have probably been paid, I had no idea what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And if I was doing it wrong,
How did you
I'd
know?
like to know.
Yeah.
Don't hedge it. Don't say, and you would know my style was very direct. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I sometimes hear what I said to people. I'm like, holy smokes. Yeesh, that probably could have said that a little bit gentler than I did, but everybody got the message.
Yeah.
And then became successful because of it, because they were going down the wrong path. They had an activity or a behavior that wasn't effective. This is what's getting in your way. Bang.
But don't you think too, though, that like the feedback that you give, and we did sort of have that philosophy behind us, feedback is a gift.
100%.
Because and it's how you deliver that gift.
100%.
And it's also the intent behind the gift, right? Because if you had feedback for me, I wouldn't take it as like, oh, Darren's at me again. It's like, Darren knows that I can be better and I can do better. And he's helping me get there.
And the other thing, so when I couch that and explain that as a gift, it is a true gift of the giver.
Yeah.
Because if I'm giving you feedback, I've paid attention to something you've done. I've thought about the impact on it. I've thought about how you could be better, and I'm taking the time to think about how I'm going to give it to you. Well, that's a lot of energy.
Yes.
So it is an absolute gift to get feedback because of the thought and energy and process that the sender has put into giving it to you. And to me, when I'm nervous about giving somebody feedback, that's about me. Oh, geez, are they going to be upset with me? Is Sue going to be mad at me? Well, that's about me. That's not about Sue. So if I give it to Sue and then Sue's upset after, okay, let's have that discussion as a separate thing. But I think this is important for you to hear this because this is getting in your way. And in some cases, it's a fatal flaw. And I have a really funny example of feedback I gave somebody. So this was a director level. And what's the level of your audience? Is this G, PG, R? Where are we at here for your rating scale for this podcast?
Whatever you want.
Okay, perfect. So we had this dude, and he'd been with me for 2 months. And he's in front of, we had 2 districts. There's probably 70 people in a room. And I don't know if I can do it standing up here. But anyways, what he would do, he'd be at the front of him speaking, and he'd squat down real low and stretch his leg open. And he'd squat down and stretch his leg. I said, looked like his balls were itchy.
Yeah, okay.
So anyways, I phoned him and I said, hey, X, did you know when you're nervous, you have something you do? He says, what are you talking about? I says, well, you squat down, look like your balls are itchy. He says, I do? I didn't know that. So I said, lift your toes. It holds your feet still. He says, thanks. So I told my EC Lana, she's like, oh my God, he's been with you for 2 months. He's going to go home to his wife and say, guess what my new boss told me today? But it wasn't for me. That was like, dude, you look like a goofball up there.
You were trying to
lift your toes.
Absolutely. The intent was positive.
Lift your toes. And after that,
Yeah.
he's like, holy geez, I didn't know I did that.
Yeah.
But that's an example where you could have just went, oh, he's going to feel so embarrassed.
And just walk away and leave it.
And walk away and leave it. And now forever, everybody's laughing at this guy going, geez, now he doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So to me, that's probably the most extreme example of some pretty, I would say, embarrassing feedback.
Embarrassing feedback, yes. Well, I would say so for me, the customer experience and the employee experience are near and dear to my heart. And so that's something that, I'm going to delve into in the future. But leadership ties into both of those, right? So from an employee standpoint, how do you, I guess, what's your take on building trust with your employees so that they feel empowered, or they feel what is it that you want your team to feel?
So I want them to own whatever they're doing. So there's a couple things. I had a whole bunch of stuff like your 3 answers there. And the 3 answers, actually, just to go back to that for a second, what the point of those was more, what are unacceptable answers? And it was more, the unacceptable answers are, that's our policy, that's best practice, we've always done it this way, to try and get people to think differently about what makes sense in this situation. So for my employees, I had 3 priorities too that were my focuses. Number 1 was employee, number 2 was customer, and number 3 was quality, and in that order. And so when employees know that they're the number 1 priority for me, when it came down to a customer maybe being abusive or intolerant of our employees, they would get a warning. And it did not happen much, but we would fire that customer. The manager would say, listen, I don't think this is the right place for you to deal with, and go.
Right.
Now, as an employee, how would you feel?
Protected.
So how confident would you be dealing with employees and doing your best? Now, if you were abusive to the customers or not, that was absolutely dealt with as well. But knowing that you're the number 1 priority, and the other commitment I made was, you'll be better when you're done with this team than you were when you came in here. You'll get coached, you'll get feedback, you'll get opportunities. So giving you those 2 things, knowing that, so the person that said, I'm going to focus on you as my priority, and by the way, customer's super important. People are like, okay, I got to deliver the best customer experience we can.
Right.
But it's all about, for me, it's about the employee knowing they're supported, they're trusted, and they're protected. And mistakes are okay. Mistakes are okay. And I would tell staff off the start, please make as many mistakes as you can as quickly as you can, because they're super cheap today.
Yeah.
You've got somebody checking over your shoulder, you've got no authority, and make your mistake, own your mistake, and learn from your mistake.
Right.
And so, now you've got that going with you, give her. And staff are so they'd say, oh, thank God for telling me that. Like, you could just see the relief.
Yes.
Like, no, you're not going to get fired because you made a mistake. Repeating mistakes, that's a different issue.
That's different.
But making a mistake because you didn't know and then you learn from it, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good job. Keep going.
And it's something actually like that Eric, who's my husband, he's a hockey coach. And it's interesting because what you're saying, it just made me think of this. Like this past season, he would tell his team, and they were 15, 16-year-olds, we win or we learn.
Absolutely love that.
And the fact that he's starting that at that age, so that they realize, like, you keep, you might have missed a pass or you let a goal in or whatever. Like, those aren't mistakes. Like, you win or you learn and you move forward. Yeah. Right. And I think that's what, and I truly believe that too. I don't believe in failure.
I don't like that word.
I don't either. And it really bugs me. And I called actually one of my teammates out because they said they failed. And I said, did you?
No, you didn't.
Like, did you have positive intent? Did you try something different? And I think for me, I'm an ideator. I love new ideas. I love throwing ideas. And I think that intimidates some people because I'm always coming at them like this, right? But it's, I want to try different things. And if it works, it works. Like even this today. Yeah. I've never done this before. you know, like it's not, this is new to me, but it's like, I'm winning or I'm learning. And at the end of the day, that's what life is about.
And that's people I said failure. Oh, you Darren, you can't deal with failure. I said, no, it's not that I can't deal with failure. I've never failed.
Yeah.
I have screwed up more things than you can count. That's screwed up for sure. Yeah. Never failed. I learned, I grew, I found out what didn't work, I found out what worked. But yet we've got it, like that word. I said, no, you didn't fail.
Yes.
To Eric's, like we learned.
Yeah.
Okay, that did not work the way we thought it would. Okay, why didn't it work the way we thought it would? Okay. Now, if you did the exact same thing with the exact same information, okay, then that would be a failure.
Right.
But no, you don't fail. And it's not because I can't fail. Like I said, I got piles of screwed ups in my life, and I'm not embarrassed of them because I learned from them. That's what makes you who you are.
Well, and I think too, like one of the things that I like with Darren and I working together, we were professional. I would say we were professional, but we had fun.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I think that that's something I've struggled with in my career over the years is the balance between fun and professionalism. Because I truly believe you can still be professional and have fun at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's something that I like, the harvest selfies. Like that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. Why not do that? Right? So trying different things and getting people to send in how many, like that one year, I don't know how, we had close to 500, if not more pictures sent in.
Yeah.
But it's like, people want to be part of things. They want to, it can't all be like work and no play.
It can't be a grind.
No.
It can't be a grind.
And that's something that I, for myself, it's like for working even now and even like through the Joyful Breeze and stuff is what can I do to bring a smile to someone's face? And what can I like just to cheer somebody up today? Like it's National Donut Day today. I don't know if you knew that. It's actually National Cheese Day today too. So I brought Timbits for EJ over there, so like, it's like, what can you do to brighten someone's day? Right. And I think as a leader, I'm not a formal leader. I've been a formal leader in my past roles, like at other work, but I'm not a formal leader today, but that doesn't mean I can't be a leader.
No, everybody needs to be a leader.
Yes.
Your title is irrelevant.
And I think that's what people get caught up on. Yeah. Right. And even when people are looking for someone to speak at an event or something, I've been told like, oh, I need a title. And I just think, do you? No. Like, I just think that's so short-sighted. Yeah. And part of like this whole thing is I love talking to people. You know that. I love talking. But I also, like, you and I aren't famous. Well, you might be.
No,
Darren's a big deal.
Yeah, just nobody knows about me, but I'm a huge deal.
But like, it's not like we're influencers and have thousands of followers and stuff. But I still feel like you have an extraordinary story. And so why would we not share that? Like, in terms of your impact and what you've done on a leadership perspective, why would we not share that? Yeah. And that's what this is for. I want to highlight people that may not realize the impact that they're having. But you know what? Life is hard, but you're doing a good job. And life is supposed to be fun. Yeah. So let's have some
fun. And I think people get fun mixed up with work and fun. Yes. You can't have fun at work. Well, absolutely. We had every team I've been on, we have a lot of fun. Yeah. And it creates a tightness. Yes. And so one of the things that I like to do is create my own little inner culture, little mini culture thing. Mm-hmm. So the coach. Yeah. We always had the coaching stick and little sayings or little ways. If you're a minute late for a meeting, it's a $20 fine, like goofy things like that. Yeah. And that actually ties your team really tight because they're part of something. To your point about people want to be part of something. Yes. This is something that's special. Yeah. We want to be part of something special, and you can have all kinds of fun. Like the one director came in one day, he was 2 minutes late. Vern, said, damn it, he threw down two $20 bills. I forgot it was, but it was fun, and we put it towards a drink fund. It didn't go to me or anything. Yeah. But that was part of our fun, where instead of being mad and yelling at the guy for being late, how can you flip that and make it so that it's kind of a fun thing where guys are hoping the other guy will be late. Nobody was late. Yeah. But instead of being mad. Yeah, it just flipped that into
and I bet Vern didn't do that again.
No, Vern didn't do it again.
Because you win or you learn.
Oh, totally.
Right?
Totally.
And he learned.
And or you keep paying $20, we get more drink money. That's fine with me.
More than $20. One thing that I wanted to highlight is, where was I going with this one? In part of the Dare to Lead, they talk about your core values. And what resonated with me on that one is ask someone their core values. So do you know what your core values are?
I used to.
I know. I'm throwing this at you. Yeah.
Its core values would be, to me, it'd be being courageous, accountable, family, and people. I guess the people around me. And because how you know that your core values, when you see them being violated, then you make a decision whether you can stick around or not. Right. And so those would be the ones that I had to wait. It was way better when we used to do this more often, but it's been a couple of years since I've
totally. And I think that, like, to your point, it's important that you know what your core values are, so that's your boundary.
Oh, totally.
Right. And so when it comes to leadership, when it comes to wherever, okay, because I have to say that for myself, like from one of my core values is you need to have my back. I'll have your back, but I need you to have my back, 100%. Right?
Trust. That's trust.
That's trust. And if I don't have that, then okay, we need to have a conversation.
Or I have to go.
Right. And so, but it's what you do with that to move forward. Because there's been times when it's been broken, but it's how do you then address it and move forward. And you have to let it go. And I think that's the other thing with leadership is people will make mistakes. Sometimes shit will hit the fan.
Oh, for sure.
But it's not the end of the world. No. Right. No. And I think one of the famous lines, and I don't know, I think I remember this from like Janita, was, your name's not on the building.
Yep. That was Janita.
Right? Your name's not on the building. And I often think of that. And at the same time, it's, you show up, you do your best you can. And for me, it's about ensuring people feel valued and feel seen. And that's how I lead. And I would say, and I don't know, maybe this is an old term now, but I feel I lead through servant leadership. I'm here to set other people up for success. I'm here to ensure, and I'm not, I think where I struggle too is everything's so self-led now. Like, here's a training, you got to go watch this. Here's this, go watch this. I'm not that type of person. I'm like, just tell me, tell me, and then I'm good. It's that personal connection. And I think that's what it comes down to. And so if you can build that personal connection with your team and with those around you, then you're already like so far ahead, right? Like that's my
if you don't have a connection with your team, I'd be curious why you're there.
Yes. Oh, you said you had. Did you mention the other book that you were going to come back to?
It was the So Good They Can't Ignore
Okay.
You. There's the 5 Temptations of a CEO, and the Cy Wakeman one. There's one, No Ego. It's the other one, Drama in the Workplace. I can't remember what that one. That's a
Okay.
beauty too. That was a
Okay.
beauty.
So write those down, and then I encourage you to read them.
They're very good.
Yes. I haven't read, what was the second one?
Cal Newport.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of really good ones.
I haven't read
Actually,
that yet.
he's another good author. I'd say similar to Simon Sinek, like
Oh, okay.
very good caliber stuff,
Yeah.
more self-help stuff, and
Yeah.
very good ideas.
Because learning is continuous,
Absolutely.
right? Like it's continuous. Okay, so we're going to wrap up with a rapid fire leadership question. So this is going to be fun. See, we had
Okay.
fun. And okay, here we go. Leadership style in one word.
Direct.
Biggest leadership pet peeve
In one word,
in one word.
victim.
One thing every leader should do.
Try.
Best piece of advice you've ever received.
There's been lots. In one word, Sue?
In one word. I know this is tough for Darren.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. Shut up. That's 2 words.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Lead with your heart or lead with your head?
Oh, you lead with your heart, you manage with your head. That's how I would say that.
Okay. And finish this sentence. A great leader always.
Puts others first.
Nice. I like it. Well, Darren, I feel like we can talk for a lot more, a lot longer. I know we used to have so many conversations back in the day, and I miss working with you. I think I just, those were the good old days.
Those
definitely.
were the good old days.
But anyways, I want to thank you for doing this. I know your time and presence is important, and for you to offer that to me here today, and to our few viewers out there.
Family and friends.
We appreciate it. So thank you so much. And yeah, stay tuned for more sessions with the Joyful Breeze. And if you have any ideas or people that you would like to see, let me know, because I'd love talking to people, and I will reach out without any question. So don't forget, be the breeze, make someone smile today, be kind to one another, and uplift others with positivity.